Have you ever felt frustrated when AI tools know nothing about your work and bombard you with irrelevant information? That's the problem with most AI assistants today. They don't actually live where your thoughts do. They're separate islands, disconnected from your thinking environment. This is the problem we're trying to solve. Hey, I'm Logan. I'm an engineer building AI tools that enhance our minds. And today I'm showing you something we've been working on for a while now that may change how we think about personal AI. Copilot for Obsidian is my first project towards this vision. It's an Obsidian plugin that's now reached over 500,000 downloads. It redefines how AI interacts with the personal knowledge system for many of our users. I've got messages from people who hadn't even heard of Obsidian before, switched over to it just for this plugin. It's been truly rewarding to see such impact. In this video, I'm showing you 3 milestones we're shipping in the new release. Projects mode. It lets you create laser-focused AI assistants for your specific notes and tasks as context. Composer. It can edit or create notes through natural conversation. Autocomplete predicts your next words based on the content in your vault. Unlike generic AI that forces you into their workflows, these features adapt to your unique context and thinking patterns. They work where you already work, inside your notes. If you are interested in tools that amplify rather than replace our thinking process, hit like and subscribe to follow my journey. Okay, with that out of the way, let me show you how they work. The new projects mode is right below the plus mode in the dropdown. You start by creating a project here. Here are some of my projects I already created. Each project is a combo of name, description, your custom instructions, model, parameters, and your context. This model list is limited to these 4 models for now because they support large context and context caching. I'm trying to get the Copilot Plus Flash here next. For now, you'll still need an OpenAI or Gemini API key. The real power of this mode comes from context processing. You include context with the inclusion filter here. The files can be Markdown, PDF, EPUB books, and 20 plus other file types. I'll show you how it takes in entire books in a bit. You can also include web URLs and YouTube links. Copilot just grabs the text or transcript from these links as context. Come back to this window to update your project settings anytime. Now let me show you this one I call investment lessons. You have full access to selected books from some top investors, answer questions, and complete tasks by drawing only from these sources. And I'm using Gemini Pro. Here I'm adding the 2 books. One is the Poor Charlie's Almanac, and the other is the Common Sense Investing by John Bogle. Depending on the size of your context, this can take a while. These books, they are pretty big, so this took maybe half a minute. What it does in the background is it took the files and processed them into AI-friendly markdowns. Okay, they're ready. Since we don't need the notes right now, let me drag the Copilot window over to the full screen so that we can see it more clearly. What's in this project? I'm using Gemini 2.5 Pro here, so it can take a while to respond. This project provides you with access to these books, correct, and gives some high-level summary. Let me ask a more involved question. What are the similarities and differences between Charlie Munger and John Bogle's approaches? Cite books and chapters. Nice. It first lists out the similarities, and at the end there's a summary table. core strategy, diversification, source of edge, key phrase, Wall Street view, and time horizon. This is a very nice output. Let's see how we can add something like this to our notes. Here I'm using Composer. I'm just asking it to add some verbatim quotes to a new note. Let me open the note area so we can see clearly what new note is created. Generating changes for shared themes of Munger and Bogle, and click apply. And now we have a new note. Minimizing cost, long-term horizon, skepticism of Wall Street and intermediaries, importance of rationality and temperament. It followed my instructions to return the verbatim quotes with the chapters and page numbers. Let's move on to another one. I have this project called Tokyo Photo Trip. Again, I can ask it what's in the project and list the source types. This project contains the following types: markdown files, camera gears, Tokyo scouting note, client requirements, and a PDF with Tokyo subway lines and some web content. First question: which scouting notes are useful for my upcoming spring shoot in Tokyo? You can see this time it's much faster because I'm using GPT 4.1 mini. It looked over my scouting notes where I have dates scouted, and it understands that which dates are relevant to spring. We also have access to web search in projects mode. Give me Tokyo sunrise and blue hour times late spring 2026. Very nice. Next, I want to test Composer again. Click on preview and you'll see the diff. It added the kanji correctly. What's crazy is that you still have access to your entire vaults in project. So you just use add vaults, same as in plus mode. Find Japan related travel tips. You see it's scanning my whole vault. We can see it not only found the travel tips from my vault, it still has the context of the project. It knows about the scouting notes, about the shooting requirement. Click on show sources, we can see the source notes from the vault. The next two questions test its understanding of the context. Give some recommended gear based on weather, and make a decision that requires the full understanding of the context. Long context understanding is the strength of projects mode. In Vault QA mode or at Vault, the AI only sees the retrieved bits, not the entire thing. Okay, let me show you something cool using Composer. We can create multiple notes with just one message. Generate separate notes. Each note is a heading from this note and keep everything included. Then assign the closest subway station to each location. So this time the Composer not only needs to create the new notes, it also needs to add the correct subway stations to each location. This note is pretty long, so it takes a while to generate the whole thing. Let's see what it gives us. Very nice. Click apply, new note created. Just a single heading in this note. The second note looks good. The third note with the closest subway station. One by one, we are creating these new notes just by clicking apply. What's even cooler is that Composer can create you a canvas. Create a new Obsidian canvas called Tokyo Itinerary given the locations in this note. Lay the cards left to right in station order. Each card is a location with a photo, with the station info. Let's see if it can handle this job. Click apply. Let's see what it is. Okay. This is correct, but every card is too short. Let me ask it to increase the height. Very cool. This is looking good. Just like that, Composer just created me a canvas. Okay, let's summarize what project mode is. First, it's more focused. You predefine the context curated by you, not by AI search. This way, you have more control over what AI can see, increasing focus and reducing noise. You can ask harder questions in projects mode. Since the AI has full access to the long context, it can handle more abstract questions, such as find common patterns or compare the methodologies from different documents. It's cache-augmented generation rather than retrieval-augmented generation. The actual power of projects mode is actually in the understanding of the different types of documents. It supports 20 plus file types. You can convert hundreds of pages of PDFs, EPUBs into AI-friendly Markdown. In the next releases, I'll enable video and audio as well. There's some downsides too. It's gonna be slower because it uses larger models, especially the Gemini 2.5 Pro. It's naturally more expensive because there are more tokens consumed. And in this alpha release, you use your own API key, so be mindful of your token costs. Projects mode uses cached tokens. It's 25% the cost of uncached tokens, but it can still get expensive if you use it heavily. I recommend that you keep an eye on your model provider's dashboard to avoid a surprise bill. Okay, I've been showing you how I used Composer in projects mode. You can also use it in normal plus mode. Here's an example. Find restaurants that are close to Omotesando from Tokyo restaurants and add it to this note. Very nice, it added the correct ones. You can use it with the web search tool. When is the Golden Week in Japan in 2026? And add it to this note. Great, it's added the sources as well. Finally, let me show you how Autocomplete works. We have this new tab in Copilot settings called Plus, and you can find all the autocomplete related settings. There are two separate toggles for sentence and word autocomplete. The word autocomplete is powered by this word index, and you can refresh it here, or it gets updated automatically at plugin start. You can also choose your key for autocomplete from tab space to right arrow. Allow additional context means you allow the AI to access your relevant notes for better autocomplete. When it's off, the AI only has access to the immediate context in the same note. This is how sentence completion works. It triggers after a space. This has been a long requested feature, and I've been putting it off for quite a while now. After all, this plugin is called Copilot, so if it doesn't have autocomplete, it feels weird to the users. It also supports Chinese, Japanese, Korean, and a bunch of other languages. Although this feature has been requested for a long time, to be honest, I don't really like it. By it, I mean sentence completion to be specific. In certain scenarios, it can feel like it pulls words out of my mouth and be distracting. That's why I have this word completion as a separate toggle. Here, the example you see, this one is from sentence completion because I haven't started typing and it just gives me the word. If I have a partial word like this, then this is the word completion. I picked these Japanese names just to show you that it's indeed using the content from my vault to produce the completion. Let's show you one more. Tomato and onion. Tomato and... Okay, that works. Okay, that was a quick overview of the 3 milestones we're shipping to all Copilot Plus users. They will evolve as we gather more feedback from our community. There's some even bigger updates coming soon to both free and paid users. Stay tuned. I'm Logan, an engineer and creator building tools for the mind. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.